those days? You're just staring at a to-do list and you feel completely, totally overwhelmed, so you end up doing nothing? It's not that you don't have the desire or even the ability, you're just stuck. Well, in this explainer, we are going to break down exactly why this feeling is so common, and we're going to explore a powerful solution from a very, very unexpected place. Okay, so let's just dive right into this feeling of modern paralysis. Because look, it is not just you. There's a really deep-seated reason why so many of us feel like we're just running in place. And spoiler alert, the answer isn't about trying harder or just being more disciplined. It's something else entirely. So first things first, we have to completely reframe how we think about procrastination. I think most of us, we see it as some kind of character flaw, right? A sign of laziness. But what if it's not that at all? What if it's something else? And here it is. This is the key insight. In a world that is just throwing an impossible amount of information and demands at us, procrastination is, well, it's a logical response. It's your brain trying to protect you. It's literally hitting the emergency brake to stop you from crashing and burning out from the sheer overload. Think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to navigate a city, but it's covered in a fog so thick you can't see more than a foot in front of your face. You can't see the landmarks, you can't see the road, you can't even see your next step. Would you just start running forward at full speed? Of course not. You'd freeze up. That fog, that's the feeling of modern life. It's this endless list of tasks and choices and uncertainties, and taking action feels impossible because the path forward is completely invisible. So why is this fog everywhere today? Well, it really comes down to this. We're all trying to navigate this new, foggy world with a very, very old map. This really shows you the disconnect, doesn't it? I mean, the life manuals we all sort of inherited, they were written for the industrial age, a world of stability, of predictability. You picked a career, you followed a path, things were more or less set. Our world is the exact opposite. It's defined by constant, unpredictable change. So those traditional blueprints for how to build a career or a family or a successful life, they just don't apply anymore. The foundation has literally shifted under our feet. We're all trying to follow instructions for a building that can no longer be built, and it's leaving us feeling lost without a reliable guide. So if the old maps are useless, where in the world do we find a new one? Well, the answer comes, maybe surprisingly, from the epicenter of all this rapid change, the world of software development. You know, back in the early days of software, teams would create these gigantic 2-year plans, but they ran into a huge problem, and they ran into it fast. By the time they finally delivered the product, the world had changed, technology had moved on, and what the customer needed was completely different. Their perfect plan was obsolete the day it launched. And this right here, this gets to the absolute core insight of Agile. Instead of trying to fight the river of change, they just decided to build a raft. They created a whole system designed not just to survive in change, but to actually thrive in it, to use change as a source of strength and direction. Okay, this is where it's really, really practical. Let's break down how we can take this powerful framework from building software and apply it directly to building our own lives, our projects, our goals. The whole process is about evolution, not perfection. So forget the 5-year plan. Instead, what's the smallest, most basic version of your goal that you can launch, like right now? Maybe it's not write a book, but write 1 paragraph. It's not start a business, it's send 1 outreach email. Not get in shape, but go for a 5-minute walk. You put that version 1.0 out into the world, you see how it feels, you get real-world feedback, and then you adapt and create version 2.0. So, just to be super clear, Agile Living isn't just another productivity hack. It's a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's all about letting go of this illusion that we have control and replacing those rigid old plans with a flexible compass that helps us navigate this uncertain world. So what does all this actually get you? Well, the goal isn't just to get more done faster. The real goal is actually much more profound. It's about finding clarity right in the middle of all the chaos. Let's go back to that fog metaphor for a second. Before, you're just standing still, completely paralyzed. The future is this abstract, overwhelming wall of gray. Your to-do list has 100 things on it, and you have no idea where to even begin. Now, Agile Living doesn't magically make the whole sky clear up. What it does is it clears the fog just enough for you to see the ground right in front of you, to see the very next tangible step. And once you can see that one step, you can take it. And that action is everything. See, when you take that small, visible step, something pretty amazing starts to happen. It proves to your brain that progress is actually possible. This little action, it builds trust with your subconscious. And suddenly, that inner part of you, the part that often has the best answers, it starts sending more ideas forward because it knows they'll actually be acted on. And this creates this powerful momentum, a momentum that's driven not by force, but by clarity and trust in yourself. So let's just forget the grand plan for a moment. Don't worry about the finish line that you can't even see through the fog. Just look down at your feet. What is the absolute smallest version 1.0 you can launch right now to take that very next step?